Coming up tonight, could Saxons see another two straight? The group tells our Berthany McDermott their game plan to secure the New Year's Day parade. Plus, one down and one to go. The team that helps to keep Bay Street clean before, during, and after Junkanoo Parade share how they get it all done. And New Year, New You. A local doctor is helping you set and keep your health-related New Year's resolutions. These stories and more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. The Shell Saxons superstars are going after two straight. After winning the 2023 Boxing Day Parade, they are well underway to ensuring another win this New Year's Day. Berthany McDermott reports.
The Shell Saxon superstars will bring Indians to Bay this New Year's Day, and according to JCNP member for the Saxons, Candice Campbell-Moss, they will keep the momentum going.
We have every intention of bringing the intensity, the enthusiasm that is needed for us to win the parade, and we would hope that we do a very good job. And we are hopeful with our fans and for our sponsors to be very, very happy with us at the end of this parade.
But what is the Saxon Shack looking like with a short time to prepare for the New Year's Day Parade? Campbell-Moss tells us they were halfway done with New Year's Day Parade costumes before the Boxing Day Parade.
As you can see all around you, we are in here. We are in full gear. We came off of Bay Street that afternoon. We waited for the results to be called. We went into Mason's Edition. We celebrated for a little while, and then we went into the Shacks. One win will not go to our heads because the Saxon Superstars has a history of winning. We didn't win one parade and thought that, we were the best group. We have been in existence 50 plus years, and we are known winners.
The Saxons came under fire following the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, as many felt the group should not get the top spot. The Saxons have since defended the win, saying a win is a win. However, many are coming for the top spot. This is what Campbell-Moss had to say to the competition.
My response to what other groups? What should I say? We are winners.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
And over on Grand Bahama, the Junkanoo hype is also picking up. But for the world of famous bushwhackers, it's all about having a good time. Co-leader Ricardo Lightbourne says for decades, the fun group has always been a crowd favorite. And this year, they'll have it no other way. The Grand Bahama Junkanoo Parade will be held under the theme Pine Yard Rush. And Lightbourne says it's a perfect match for the bushwhackers.
The bushwhackers, as you know, stay in the Pine Yard. And so we're coming out and showing them that, hey, green and pristine is exactly what it is. But being a people's group, everybody wants to be a part of this and have the Junkanoo experience. And what we're finding now is a lot of folks are coming to us and saying, we want to be there with you. And so we're saying to all of our fans out there, if you feel like you want to be a part of this thing, then come out there and be a part of it. And we're going to have ourselves a wonderful time like we do every year. A lot of guys say they're in it to win it. We are in it because the fans then tell us that we won it. And that's why the bushwhackers are so unique in more ways than one, keeping the tradition of Junkanoo alive.
Their costumes are often made of, well, bush or other elements that were traditionally used during the early years of Junkanoo. Lightbourne says the group has gained a following nationally.
We, over the years, have been able to be the filler for the A groups. And what has happened over the years, that a lot of the guys that have been in Junkanoo, like myself and many others, like Coxroll, all those who don't want to go through the rigors of pacing and going through that ornament of winning, lose, and they rob us and all other kind of stuff. We just wanted to have fun. We love the tradition of Junkanoo, and that's one of the reasons why we've stayed together. The smiles on the kids and the smiles on the adult faces says the story. When you can go down to Cat Island and Long Island and folks will say, I know you, you're a bushwhacker. That says much about how our tradition has been etched in Bahamian history.
Lightbourne also highlighting the significance of the parade to the entire Grand Bahama community.
Where we've been with Dorian and then also through the economic woes and the pandemic and everything else, Grand Bahama needs a reason to celebrate and to smile. This parade will be able to provide that for the residents and also for visitors to come out and enjoy and have themselves a wonderful time. Pioneers Way will be a magic place to be for everyone. And so don't miss the show.
The Body of Christ Crusaders say they're bouncing back from a fifth-place loss in the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. However, its leaders say they're facing some hardships in preparing for the major parades. Add to that the fact that they don't think they deserved a fifth-place finish. Berthany McDermott has the details.
The Body of Christ Crusaders suffered a crushing defeat in the 2023 Boxing Day Parade, and according to leader Kingsley Ferguson, while they're disappointed in the fifth placement, they're looking forward to the next parade.
We were of the view that we should have done much better than we did, but again, we don't cry over spilled milk. The scores are what they are. The judges said what they said. New Year's morning is in front of us, and we're going to clean up our act, and we're going to present ourselves and do the best that we can.
He says the loss is an indication to them that improvements are needed for next time. But Ferguson says the B group has a more pressing issue when it comes to Junkanoo prep every year: funding.
We've been making appeals for sponsorship across the entire spectrum, the corporate spectrum. We've even made appeals to persons in the government of the Bahamas. I would have spoken to the Prime Minister as well on Boxing Day, asking him if he could consider assisting us with getting a sponsor so that we can have the kind of impact that is necessary, not only in Junkanoo, but in the community.
Ferguson contends the Body of Christ Crusaders is more than just a Junkanoo group. He says the group that consists mostly of young people builds their character and keeps them in good company. Like Colors Junkanoo Group, Ferguson said the lead and step-down costumes were sprung on the B group categories late in the game, but they still were able to execute. But he says increased requirements demand increased funding.
You cannot be implementing additional things that require additional materials without additional funding. And so when these things are implemented, there needs to be a discussion among the groups, and a determination may be made as to the fact that it's now a requirement. But let's give consideration as well to how does this requirement now affect the bottom line of the various groups.
Despite the roadblocks, the group is in full preparation mode for the New Year's Day Parade. Their theme, Only the Sun Covers the Bahamas Better.
We're going to show the various agencies in government that actually service the Bahamian people. We're going to show exactly what water and sewage does. We're going to show what ZNS does. We're going to show what BPL does.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
In just a matter of days, Junkanoo comes alive again, this time for the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade. Join the Our TV team beginning at 1:30 a.m. on Monday, January 1st, as we present all of the sights, sounds, fanfare, and more. Tune into the team you already trust. For the best seats in the house, be sure to tune in on channel 212 or watch the exciting stream live on the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. Well, we've got lots more to tell you tonight, but first, meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us now with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy Saturday evening, everybody. Another great evening around the islands today and across our neighborhood. 67 degrees outside our studios right now under mostly cloudy skies. We do have some light showers out there, nothing really heavy. Northwest winds at 10 miles per hour, and your feels like temperature is hanging out in the upper 60s. Satellite radar composite showing what we have in place. Frontal boundary now drifting into the central Bahamas, another one across the southeast Bahamas, both of those expected to merge, but there is a lot of moisture associated with that, as well as some showers. We will continue to see that pattern throughout the night and into tomorrow, but most of the activity should be pushing towards the south, and we should see some clearing by the early part of next week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast that's still to come.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, if one of your resolutions include a healthier you in the new year, well, we've got you covered. A local doctor provides helpful insight on where to begin. And certified Conch making waves as they seek to preserve one of our national delicacies. Hear how you can do your part to conserve conch for years to come. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospitals reimagine primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
We are just 2 days away from the new year, a time to reset, refresh, and set new goals. 2024 is just around the corner, and with the new year in sight, most people are starting to think of ways to improve themselves. One of the most common goals is improving one's health. According to one local doctor, it's the perfect time for reevaluation.
The new year tends to be the reset. Everyone's talking about starting the gym again, or starting to exercise, losing weight, all of those things, which are extremely important. So, thinking about your health and your general well-being is always a good thing, because sometimes we take those things for granted. So certainly I think it's good now for us to start thinking about, what things can be helpful. Rest, making sure that you're in touch with your spiritual life. All of those things help. Mental wellness, extremely important. Certainly if you haven't gotten your checkups, make sure that you go to get your checkups just to make sure that you're in good condition.
She says even if you don't have a big health goal, making small lifestyle changes can make an impact on your health outlook.
Certainly we know that lifestyle changes, eating appropriately, exercise, all of those things also help to make us as well as we can be. So I think those things would be key to make sure we start to put them on our list for the new year.
Months and months of time and energy go into preparing for these spectacular Junkanoo parades we all love to watch on Boxing Day and New Year's Day. But there is a certain group of people that only have a matter of days to clean up the parade route down on Bay. That responsibility falls on the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority. Managing Director David Barry explains how that process works, particularly with a postponed parade.
When we were made aware of the postponement, we rescheduled our team. It wasn't a challenge for us. We usually start cleanup at 10 p.m., which is during the parade. And then when the parade ends after 10 a.m., we still have teams ongoing until the end of the day, cleaning up the main streets and through the side roads. And then after that, we have the job of breaking down the major costumes. People see the months of effort that goes into building these big costumes. We have a day or two to break all of them down. And so just a day or two after the parade, you'll see us still breaking down those costumes.
Barry says despite having less time to clean up Bay for the reopening of the normal business day, the cleanup process went smoothly.
Usually it's a holiday on the day of cleanup, and thus it's easier for the police to keep the road barricaded to allow us to move more swiftly. But this time we just had our staff use their caution vests and cones to redirect traffic as they cleaned up the road during traffic.
And with just a few short days until the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade, Barry says the team is already on standby.
Well, New Year's is always the big show. It's bigger than Boxing Day, and so we have our teams, additional persons, about 50 plus persons, scheduled and ready to go.
Certified Conch is a newly founded organization that is set out to educate the public about the importance of conserving the tropical mollusk for generations to come. Our Danielle Miller fills us in.
The conch is described as a Bahamian delicacy. It's incorporated in many dishes and prepared in numerous ways. Throughout the years, generations have witnessed its fleeting abundance. Because of this fact, two young women founded the organization Certified Conch.
Certified Conch is a conservation and sustainability awareness platform that uses unconventional but relatable avenues.
So our motto is actually Conch is the brand and sustainability is the action. So one of our goals is to create a gateway between conservation and sustainability education that sparks interest for the Bahamian community and greater.
The message of sustainability is presented to the public in a more infotainment style.
Well, we do have three focuses: community engagement, cultural inclusion, and environmental awareness. And all of that played a part in us putting on the show last night. We also have some great talent that participated in the show that actually carried us throughout the night.
So for one of our pillars, like Renee mentioned, is cultural inclusion. So we use Bahamian artists for our comedy show, which is actually the improvised comedy ensemble. And those guys carried us through our experience experience, and we highlighted SDGs, which is the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN put forward in 2015. We also highlighted community, we highlighted environment. So it was just I want to say a little bit of a funny way, a relatable way to put forward some of our conservation messaging.
Now, the group is not against consumption, but spreading the message that sustainability and conservation affect us all, and there is no superior species in the ecosystem.
So some of our future plans for Certified Conch is to continue to push the needle of getting conservation and sustainability messaging into schools, into different avenues you wouldn't really find those messaging. We're trying to encompass and hit all different sectors and all different demographics. So we don't want to stay stuck in just the conservation and sustainability sector, because conservation and sustainability is for everyone. So we want to continue to push that needle, kind of get everybody involved as we continue to change the planet.
And it's also important for us to do what we call erasing the stigma, because of course we chose the name Certified Conch because of the colloquial term eyes to conch and how popular it is inside Bahamian culture. But we also want to erase the fact that conch is not gullible. It's a very strong species, and it applies to both our community, culture, and environment.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
When our news weekend comes back from the break looking for a new way to stay fit, well, our Sasha Lightborn has an exclusive interview with the Bahamas Roadmasters coming up on the other side of this break. This is Our News Weekend. Welcome back. Well, we hope you've been paying attention and hunting for holly during our Thursday and Friday newscasts, because this weekend wraps up our final holiday giveaway. Those that spotted holly during Thursday's newscast will have a chance to win one of our fabulous prizes. Stick with us to see if that winner is you. But first, marathon running is catching on quickly in the Bahamas, and there's a club that trains just for that. Our Sasha Lightborn caught up with the president of Bahamas Roadmasters Club to talk about their success during 2023. Here's that report.
I would say that a most exceptional year for the club. We had a number of runners that achieved a number of goals. We have a few members that achieved the 6-star medal, the Abbott 6-star medal, which is in marathon running. You're up there in running. That's the medal to achieve.
President of the Bahamas Roadmasters Running Club, Anastasia Turnquest, explains how one achieves that Abbott 6-star status.
By running the 6 major marathons. So once you've completed the 6 major marathons, you receive this additional medal, which puts you in that ranking.
Those major marathons include Tokyo, Boston, London, Chicago, Berlin, and New York. She also spoke about the 2 signature events they host every year right here at home.
We have a midnight run that's held the eve of Labor Day. So it'll be the Thursday going to Friday morning of Labor Day. Then we have our annual half marathon, 10K and 5K event, which takes place in November. And both events were successful this year. The Bahamas half, we didn't quite reach the target numbers we were hoping, but overall it was successful. We had a number of international participants, persons from as far as Rome, France, Canada, the United States, the Caribbean, and of course our local participants.
And we asked her about the possibility of having Bahamians participate at the Olympic level in marathon running.
We have a Bahamian, O'Neill Williams. He was training for the last Olympics, but he didn't quite make it. So I think eventually, yeah, we'll get there. We have a number of running clubs popping up now, apart from ourselves. There are 2 additional running clubs, and they're running quite well. So I think eventually, maybe not Paris, but maybe the next one, we may definitely have 1 or 2 persons participating in that, yes.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
When Our News Weekend returns, our Greg Thompson is back with your extended weather forecast. Plus, stick around to see if you're tonight's winner of Holly's Holiday Hunt. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. Just a few hours left until we prepare to ring in the new year. Our Greg Thompson is back with your extended weather forecast to help you plan out your holiday weekend activities.
Yeah, thanks again, Megan, and welcome back, everybody, for our final check-up weather. We still have that moisture in place. That's courtesy of an upper-level trough and a very strong jet stream across our area. That's pulling a lot of moisture out of the southwestern Caribbean. That combined with two fronts, actually, across the islands, central and southeast Bahamas. Both of those fronts expected to combine later on tonight and should continue to push towards the south. But that pattern will remain in place overnight, so we're looking for some cloudy conditions as well as some passing showers. Nothing of the heavy kind, but we will continue to see some quick passing showers across portions of the northwest Bahamas, with most of the activity now pushing into the central Bahamas as we speak. Future forecast showing most of the activity, as I mentioned, pushing into the central Bahamas and exiting the area. But by tomorrow, we expect much improved conditions. Sunshine will be out. Of course, most of the cloud activity will be down in the southeast Bahamas. And of course, Monday looks even nicer with a dry air mass in place, cooler temperatures, and it looks as though Junkanoo will be a go for Monday. Taking a look at a boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas. Northwest and north winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Your high tide is at 10:40 tonight. Your low tide taking place at 4:13 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, we have a caution flag in place for you guys down there. Northeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, much improved conditions starting on Sunday. We have another front, a reinforcing one coming through on Monday that should keep our temperatures rather cool. But we're looking at temperatures to stay in the low 70s during the daytime hours. And of course, your nighttime temperature will be very nice and, well, chilly. Upper 50s to low 60s. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a great weekend, everybody.
And now it's time to announce the winner of Holly's Holiday Hunt. 9 amazing fans have a chance at this week's surprise gift. Let's find out who our winner is. Amber Gabrielle, you have earned a fantastic prize, an Our News gift bag brought to you by our partners at Solomon's. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who participated throughout the entire hunt, and thank you to the Solomon's and Alive teams for our wonderful prizes. Congratulations again to Amber Gabrielle. Happy holidays. And thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a safe and wonderful holiday weekend.